One last thing, if you send over the project without the object mask and you have done object masking in Premiere, once they open up, they'll have missing masks. So keep that in mind. Object masking is basically rotoscoping. This is the greatest update that I think Premiere has done in quite a while. So in order to get it to work, you need to have your footage into the timeline. Make sure it's selected and come here to the tools and select object mask. Go to a point of the video where you have all the details you want of your object to be masked. Once you select your clip on the timeline and hover your mouse over here to the program monitor, it will tend to highlight an object that it's trying to figure out what object you're trying to highlight. So it will have this highlight on object that you are trying to select. So I will click on this clip right here. Once I click on it, you will have this highlight now. On the bottom here of the program monitor, once you click here, you have different options. You have none. If you don't want any highlight on your mask, you have different colors to choose from in case there's a predominant color in your scene. But also you can choose black and white if you want to get that alpha channel kind of look. Here you have the plus, which is add object in case you want to add an object that you want to mask, and here you have the subtract from object if you want to remove an object. So for example, if I select this and then I come here and pick these two options here, you have the lasso and rectangle. So for example, I can choose the lasso here and lasso out the foot. You can see it will deselect. I can lasso out here this foot, or I can even choose this rectangle here and select here and it will deselect the shoes. On the effects controls here, you have unassigned masks. You have your mask. So I have object mask 1. Now it's not the beginning of the frame, remember. So what we're gonna do is select on the tracker here, we're going to select this middle selection, which is track selected mask forward and backward. If I click on this, it will start to analyze, it will track forward, and then after it's done tracking forward, it will track backward. So you don't have to go back to that initial frame, keyframe, and track again on the back side. These movements are going in and out of the frame here. The mask is doing quite well, and you can see now it went back and started tracking backwards. So going back to fix some of the errors that appeared, if I zoom in here on my roto, you can see I have some few errors here. I'm going to select this add object and then I'm going to pick my lasso tool and just lasso out here. And now I can do this again by track select forward. That works the same if you want to remove something. You actually just go back and select subtract from object, highlight what you want to deselect, and then track, and it works great. Now to get your mask to work, all you have to do is apply it to where you want to your mask to be. So for example, if I want to get an alpha background, all I have to do is select my object mask on my unassigned masks and drag it down to opacity. Feather this out, put like 2 and expansion -1. Another option to smoothen out your mask, you can actually nest your clip and go to effects and pick roughen edges and select, and it will try to smoothen it out as much as possible. You can see if I zoom out, it's a bit more smoothen out. Now you can play around with the settings here to get the effect that you're looking for. And there we have our rotoscope. Once I get back to my nested sequence here, I can actually apply an effect on this tint and then take my mask object and apply it on my tint. And you can see now it's not rotoscoping the footage, but it's actually rotoscoping on the effect. And I can go ahead and select the object mask, copy it, apply on the Gaussian blur. I'm going to select the Gaussian blur, copy my object mask, come back to my Gaussian blur and select Ctrl V to paste, and I can invert this Gaussian blur, and now the Gaussian blur is on the background. One last thing, if you are going to be sharing this project with another editor, or a client has requested that you send them a project file, something that no one is talking about, that I don't know why, is every unassigned mask you create, it will create the masks in the file explorer where you saved your project. You will have the object masks. All the object masks that you've created will appear in your File Explorer. So remember, when you're sharing your project, to actually send the object masks folder. If you send over the project without the object mask and you have done object masking in Premiere, once they open up, they'll have missing masks. So keep that in mind.